shit.
And what's crazy is like naturally like all I do is laugh. So, but like naturally like my face just goes back to resting bitch face.
It's cool. You can look at. You can clap. What's going on, everybody? They probably want to know what the hell is going on over here. This is the Paid and Exposure podcast, video, YouTube. Make sure you follow and subscribe. So I got a special guest. I got Brandon with me. What's going on, sir?
How are you, sir?
Same old same. So we're doing this YouTube portion.
Yes.
So if anybody didn't and you're lazy, you're probably here. Or if you just love YouTube, you're probably here for that. So I got Brandon here. First of all, what do you shoot with?
So I shoot with the Nikon, to be exact, Nikon D750.
I guess I can sit here so people know what the hell you're looking at.
Yes, I am looking. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you shoot with a Nikon.
Yes.
Why?
That's where I got my start with.
Okay.
My parents bought my first camera, which was a Nikon D3200.
Okay.
And of course, when you start with one, you kind of just want to be loyal to the brand, and you just continue on and get the best of the best of the brand. So I went from beginner to
whatever.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, we could also have that argument, but we'll do that off camera.
Okay. Funny thing is, so you started that way. You ended up with Nikon, and you're there. What's your photography style?
If I had to sum it up in one word, I would say vibrant.
Okay. We talked about that too. So the reason why you came on the podcast today is because we talked about branding. Why is branding so important to you?
Well, to me, branding is just important because I want to, show my client that, it always goes back to professionalism. I want them to see like how professional I am, like how serious I am about my craft. That this is not a game for me. This is real life. So, that's why branding is really important to me. And also as a business owner, you want to make sure that you're showing people like, okay, if I want to book this person, I know I have like someone who is really serious, and that's not gonna have me looking crazy in front of a camera.
Is there anything particular that you look at and you say like, all right, this person's not serious when you see other photographers? Because that's who we're appealing here to. Like, is there anything that, okay, so what is it? You answer that quick.
I just think, for me, I think it's just like certain things that you do. Like, I'm okay with like you showing your life on social media, and we touched on this toward the end on the other podcast part. But I think when you do certain things that just, it's like, are you, like, you call yourself a photographer. So you have photographer or model or whatever creative you are in your bio.
Here we go.
And then I look on your page and I see no pictures. Or I see nothing about a portfolio. And I'm just like, so what are you photographing? You know what I mean? Like in that case, then it's just you. You're not really a photographer. You're not really a model. You're not really the creator that you say you are. So I just think, if you're gonna if you're gonna represent yourself as such, let's make sure it's like a level playing field and it's like true and true all the way through. So
what do you feel like when it comes to branding yourself, what do you feel like all photographers need to have? What tools? What?
There's a few. I mean, everybody's different, but I'd say for sure the website, the business card, like you touched on earlier, absolutely the logo. Depending on like what it could be, maybe t-shirts.
Absolutely. Okay.
Because maybe you have some people going out representing your brand for you. If you have a team of photographers, you want to have like XYZ on the front and then maybe your name on the back and what type of photographer you are, so people know who you are.
What do you wear when you go to weddings, or when you shoot weddings, or when you?
So weddings depends on the wedding and the time of the year.
Absolutely.
I will say though.
Okay.
The key color for any wedding, as crazy as it sounds, is black.
White.
I would say black.
I was just talking because brides get mad when you wear white. Don't wear white to a wedding.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, but like black, because if you get sweaty, you don't see the sweat. If you even have to take off something or bring like a backup shirt, because I know some of us sweat a lot. Like you want to bring some backup clothes, backup shoes, because you could be out the indoor portion of the wedding, which is the ceremony, could be indoor, but maybe they have the reception outside, and maybe it rained 3 hours before.
Absolutely.
And you have on sandals.
Well.
And your feet are dirty by the end of the night, and everybody's looking at you crazy.
So let's look at it like this.
Yeah.
What tools did you use to help you brand your business?
Of course, Squarespace.
Okay.
For the website.
Squarespace, send us a check.
Yes, please. But Squarespace, we appreciate you guys because y'all definitely did that with that interface. If you're talking business cards, Minted, Vistaprint,
Okay.
Staples.
I hate Vistaprint. By the way.
Actually, I think I might have got my last set of business cards from them, but they looked really good. But I mean, there's so many business card websites.
It is.
You know what I mean? YouTube.
Please go on YouTube. I think with Vistaprint, what made me mad was, and it probably wasn't even their fault. I was cheap because I was young. I was still in college trying to do this, and I got caught up on the whole thing of what was it? I didn't realize that their brand was going to be on the backside of my business card, and I was like, this is so doggone tacky. And it was just trashy. That's probably not their fault. It definitely was an option to pay more.
They have to make sure that they're represented.
Absolutely.
Something
That's
out of the
good
deal.
branding on their part. They're like, oh, we're going to brand ourselves. We'll give you something cheap. So let's talk about this.
Okay.
We talked about in our community, because this podcast it's catered for Black and brown photographers. That's why if you're looking at the camera, it's probably shaky because, we gotta make this shit work one way or another. So let's talk about this. We're in a social media age. There's so many avenues to communicate with people. Your number one pet peeve when it comes to social media communication is what?
Do not slide in my DMs.
Whoa. What's wrong with that?
I repeat, do not slide in my DMs.
What's wrong with that, man?
But if you notice, though, a lot of professionals have started putting no DMs in their...
Absolutely.
A lot of hairdressers do that. I've seen a lot of hairstylists do that. And I can see why, because just like our business, we get, of course, the first question that anybody always wants to know is, how much is it? But, I mean... Don't just come in my DM. How much do you charge? Well, first of all, you realize that I do more than one type of photography. So rates are going to be different across the board. I never understood that. So I have left several people in my DMs either read or unread, one because I don't check them, and they get no response. Just because if that's your lead-in, then you're not my client.
So what do you prefer as far as a line of communication?
Email me.
Okay.
For those that are close enough to me and can get their hands on my phone number, feel free to text or call me.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many. You can contact me. This is why we have a contact me portion on our websites. So you can send a form letter with your name, your email, your phone number, telling us what you're interested in. We can reach back out to you, when we get a moment, because actually we are busy, so we're not going to respond immediately. But that's what we have all these tools for.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
You brought up another good point. What do you think everybody's website should consist of? Some things that you think that's dealing with branding. What do you feel like is?
Definitely an about me page.
Okay.
And the reason why I suggest that is because in any type of avenue where somebody's going to be, where you're paying for service, whether it be hair, makeup, photography, videography, florist, food, chef, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
They need to see your face. Absolutely. They need to physically be able to see, okay, this is Brandon, this is Gavin, this is what they look like. I think that's important for you to tell people who you are, your background a little bit, how did you get into this? Because people resonate with those type of stories.
Absolutely.
And the other thing, contact me definitely. And if you have something that you need to showcase, like a portfolio, you want all of that on your website. That's really important.
What you think about prices?
Yes and no. It just depends on the person, I think. Okay. I have some of my prices listed because those are the things that I shoot the most of. Okay. So sometimes you just get tired of asking somebody, or if somebody asks you in your email, how much do you charge for XYZ? I always refer back with my website link and tell them to scroll down to this portion so they can know what they get all in the package.
One thing I just realized.
Yes.
I've started putting up my schedule.
That's great.
Or available days.
Yes, that is very smart. Yes.
Just because I'm so far from the mic, this is how you know some hood stuff here. The ghetto. I've been putting my available dates just because it helps people. Yeah. And I don't have to, let me go and check my calendar. But it does require you being, on your stuff because I have to remember to go in there and X off dates or just delete them. So if you think about it like that, most people, let's try to keep that in mind too. Let's wrap this up, man. This is quick. It's a quick thing here because we need people to go listen to the podcast.
Yes, please.
This second camera's so shaky because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Probably would not see the light of day. So, last thing. We talked about it earlier. We talked about being paid in exposure, people trying you. And you talked about something earlier. You said you really can't think of one right now. But you said it's certain things that clients should know when they reach out to you and they try to pay you an exposure. And you talked about avenues if they don't have the money. Explain that for people.
So basically what I'm saying is to clients who maybe you want to work with a photographer and you can't afford them at this current moment, then maybe, you know, just to get a bug in their ear, maybe say, hey, you know, I see what you've been doing. I love your work. Just so this person knows that you exist. You know, you just start a dialogue. And then naturally, most people will remember that. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember when you reached out. But please do not go on someone's email or whatever, call them, whatever, and say, oh, can we work out this type of deal where you shoot me? We, as creatives, this is how we make our living. Absolutely. This is how we create. This is how we put money back into our businesses. So if you can't afford me or you can't do whatever, you know, if you can't meet the minimum means, then just remain a fan or an admirer until you can then pay me for what, because we work really hard. Absolutely. Creators work really hard. We sacrifice a lot of time and I mean, we don't get to see maybe some of our family sometimes because we have 3 or 4 jobs, maybe 2 jobs, and you have one you hate, but this is the passion and that's how you fund your passion. So understand that this is something that we live and we work really hard for. And, you know, pay us what we're worth because you would want it. If the shoe was on the other foot, you would want the same thing.
What? Who you telling? So,
yes.
Last part. Tell people where they can find you at.
Website is Brandon Grate, GRATE.com. Instagram is Brandon Grate with an underscore. Yes, just want you guys to get that.
Bro, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. This wasn't your first time. It won't be your last time. And as always, y'all, they probably can't hear the hell out of me. As always, please follow us on Paid and Exposure Podcast.
And this man is brilliant. He's very talented also. I appreciate him having me on.
They probably looking at this like, this nigga. Anyway, we'll holler at y'all next time. Good stuff.
Thanks, sir.
This camera shaky as shit. I'm over here.
It's okay. It's all right. Listen.
I just needed a backup camera.
Stabilizer in Photoshop or Premiere.